just to finish off on the EH series lap steels, these are two versions of EH185s. I call them a shotgun of lap steels because they're extremely heavy duty and extremely heavy. Now, I had an amp and another EH185, but have sold it, so I can't show you the amp with the guitars. But the one model EH185 carried through all the different variants of the EH185. So things that changed were this metal plate that runs through the body along the neck and becomes the headstock is all one piece. So what changed on that metal plate was, you have to look closely, but the tail end of the plate is very narrow, and as it goes up towards the headstock becomes thick. The version that I sold, so I can't show you, the metal plate is one thickness all the way through. So that's one thing you can look at. I haven't got the years of these guitars in handy, and when the variations changed, but that was one variation. Then you could get, I believe, 6, 7, 8 and 10 string versions. This one's a Charlie Christian with these crown type knobs, the optional handrest, beautiful timbers. So triple bound, white, black, white, original tuners. These had a beautiful little Gibson metal logo held on with tiny pins. The GT stride cases, twin cases. So the body itself, this is obviously bound on the back, had a non-stick application so you could rest on your lap without it sliding off. They changed too. That was another thing that changed from a couple of different shapes over time. And a very common fault with these was that the headstock would snap right off. And I think that's why they changed to the same thickness all the way through the body. Held on by Phillips head screws. So it's a metal plate with a timber fretboard mounted, then the metal plate, then the body screwed on. We're all mounted onto the body. This version, this is the same thickness all the way through metal plate. You can see the difference. It's one thickness all the way through, original tuners. Now they changed to an ES300 pickup, and like on the 150 did the same thing, different knobs. And the ES300 pickup was obviously so large I had to put it on an angle to configure it correctly with the strings. Triple bound, front and back. Everything else is pretty much the same. That's an intact non-slip application. I've actually got several headstocks that have been broken off, and one EH185 that's in pieces. So that's two versions of the many versions, or several versions of the EH185 Gibson lap steel. This is an update on the EH185. These are the different components, and as you can see, you've got what's left of the metal plate that runs through the body that everything mounts to. The body with all the hacked out holes. And one snapped off headstock. Another metal body support and headstock. And original pickup. This belongs to an EH150, which is going with the 150 when it's sold. Jason Lawler built a exact replica. You cannot tell the difference for the EH150, but this is the original pickup with imitation tortoise shell. Yeah, so as you can see, there were some issues with the EH185 guitars.